You're cheating. You're cheating. You're cheating. Cheat.
How am I cheating?
You're cheating. You're way too close. This is cheating. You're cheating. You
Why
cheated.
is that cheating?
You went way too close. That's not fishing. That's shop
Why is
vacuing.
that fucking cheating?
You cheated. That's a cheat. That's a cheat. You
Good
cheated.
night. We're
you
done.
cheated. No, we're not done.
Good night.
Fix the camera, please. Fix the camera.
Fucking bullshit.
Fix the camera.
I'll fix the fucking camera.
Yeah, do it then. Cheat. You're cheat. You're leaving the stream as a cheat.
I'm leaving the stream with some bullshit. Stupid fucking suck up my keys, suck up my fucking garlic, wasting food. God damn it, fuck this.
Cheat.
Good night.
Cheat. You cheated. Are you happy with cheating?
How did I fucking cheat?
You came way too close. You didn't cast it.
Oh, fuck that.
Okay.
Bullshit.
All right. You're the one who has to sleep tonight, knowing you're a cheater.
Yeah, knowing that I did the job correctly.
No, you didn't. You didn't even approach correct. You didn't even approach correct. No, you didn't even approach correct.
They got a fucking vacuum cleaner that's super strong.
Yeah, but you went too close with it. The whole concept of the game was to treat it like it's a fishing lure, and you treated it like a shop vac.
You know, if you fucking tried to do that, you wouldn't have been able to hold it back either. You understand me?
No, I would have been able to do a
Yeah,
good
you're
job.
goddamn right. You fuck, this sucks like fucking idiot.
We'll find out next TomB week, won't we? We'll have a little competition. We'll have shop vac fishing. Well, other than that, you did a good job, but I didn't like the cheating at the end. Big shout out again to Tony for all the gifted subs and everybody. What?
Everyone have a wonderful stream tonight, and I'll see you on the next stream.
When's the next stream? Wednesday.
Friday.
What time?
Friday.
What time?
5 or 6. I think 6.
It's correct. Mailbag Friday. Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific. All right, good job, Perry. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Good night, folks. Sorry, folks.
What are you sorry for? Are you admitting that you cheated?
Sorry that I gotta pee.
All right, good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye. All right, he's gone. Thanks, guys. I like a little. I like a Wednesday night stream where it ends early. So hope everybody had a good time. And yeah, we'll see you on Mailbag Friday. I can't hang around tonight. I know I said on Sunday maybe we'll do. I think we'll have to hold off on that for people that were here for the after hours on Sunday. I know we said we'd do those unaired pilots, but I can't do it. I have such a crazy week this week. I can't hang, unfortunately. But we'll do it soon. I think I'm just gonna have a separate channel for that stuff eventually. But we'll see. And by the way, Susie hanging out for the entire stream. That's awesome. What am I wearing? I'm wearing blue jeans and a blue button-down short sleeve shirt. Can you take me out for a steak dinner? Yes, you can. And yes, I've been to Old Homestead many, many times. I really like the Gotham ribeye there. I don't like it when they put the fried onions on top of the steak, though. I always ask them not to do that. Although the last time I went, which was a while ago now, maybe a year and a half ago, it wasn't good. But that probably was one off night. But yeah, that's one of my favorites, Old Homestead. Great place. They do a great burger too. Yeah, Liz, just a separate channel just to maybe do after hours stuff or play videos. I don't know. It's just I don't want people tuning in, to, seeing that PCL is streaming and then it's just me. So that's the only reason. I was thinking about it. Not something I'm serious about. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it soon. Maybe next week. I gotta do so much stuff this week. So. Um, and I was really in bad shape on Monday. Yeah, Zubin, I'm in Manhattan all the time, and I'm 30 minutes away. So we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it. I like Old Homestead a lot. It's probably I like it better than Luger's. If I have my druthers, I like the Del Frisco's Double Eagle Steakhouse better. Yeah, the auction. You know what sucks about the auction update? I took really good photos of everything that's up for auction when I was at his apartment, and and of course I dumped it all onto the laptop, which I can't turn on now. So I have to get them off, or I'll just have Perry take pictures. It's just annoying because I had the pictures to upload on the website, and it was all for naught because I took them on the new phone that I gave to Perry because that's really good at taking photos, and then I dumped, that was like 2 Fridays ago, and then I dumped all the pictures onto the phone. I'm sorry, onto the laptop, thinking I would just, get them later, and then of course, now it's toast. So, yeah, and whatever. So what I'm going to do, I can probably still get them. I'm assuming the hard drive's okay in that computer. It's just like one of those M.2 SSD drives. So I just got to figure out how to open it up, which I think you just got to pry the rubber feet off the back of the computer, take the screws out. At this point, who cares? I'll probably sell the thing for parts. So I just got to take the hard drive out, dump it into something that'll read it, transfer the files. And I have some videos that I took while I was out there. That are on that laptop as well, so it sucks. Yeah, I'm sure the hard drive's fine. I'm not worried about that. And I don't have a ton of stuff on there because it was literally a month old, so I don't have any stuff on there. Oh, Larry, your daughter asked you what you want to do on Father's Day. You said go to work, then watch PCL. That's fun. That's cool. Double too many colors of painting. This works just as well as everything. Yeah, I don't, because then you got to get like people to subscribe to the other channels. I'd rather not do the other channel, but if I'm going to be doing something by myself, and Perry's not on here, it's a little weird. But yeah, the iFixit on YouTube. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna do. I was gonna look up a teardown video of the Surface 4 on YouTube and follow that, but I can't do that until next week. Yeah, it's funny. I tried turning it on again, because it's been so long now. I was like, oh, maybe it like magically, not that it would be fine, but I think maybe I can turn it on long enough to get something on it. But no, I think it just completely shorted out and the whole motherboard is shot. My dad is doing okay. He has good days and bad days. Yeah, he's doing okay. Seeing more doctors, and fingers crossed things work out. He has his good days. Maybe Patreon. Well, by the way, with Patreon, I was having an issue with Patreon past couple of streams where I couldn't upload any videos onto Patreon because there's a bunch of videos that Perry did that I wanted to upload. It finally got resolved today, so that'll be taken care of. I know I did find a hack to it where I linked to the YouTube version on Credenza level for the streams, but it'll be back to normal as of tomorrow. So that's good. And I'm sorry if anybody had any problems with that. I don't and Joe. I don't know how Patreon works this week. Maybe we just do stuff on Discord too. Tony, you're super sweet and really appreciate the support. Yeah, I'll see. It's nothing I can think about right now. I doubt that, Chaz, but thank you. You're a good guy. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna jump off. We're about 4 hours on the button. Well, just for you, Liz. Clicky Mouse, I think, is here to stay. Unfortunately, I don't know. I think in some instances it's nice to have the quiet one when I'm doing like transitions and stuff. But what are you gonna do? I tried using. It's funny. I was the other day. The clickless mouse takes a battery, and when I took it out, it was like wet inside, and it still stunk like champagne from like 2 weeks ago, or not even 2 weeks ago. But so whatever. That was only $50, so who cares? What's $50 between friends? Tom, you need to do up a chart where Perry loses $5, or are we gonna prove it? He'd be in negative numbers. He'd owe us money. Oh yeah, I'll switch to Susie's hot tub stream. That's right. Yeah, now it's time for the. I want to do a hot tub stream. I want to get a hot tub, but I can't. I can't justify the expense right now. $50. So yeah, it's true. $50 is $50. I do think about that. Like the things that there's a couple. There was a couple of ancillary things that got messed up. Like I have these really rare Sennheiser earbuds, and nobody really knows, but they don't make them anymore, and they're hard to find. And like they're like audiophiles like them because they're like earbuds. They're like audiophile earbuds. Anyway. MX 985s. Sennheiser hasn't made them in years. And I was using it to plug into the laptop to kind of diffuse the echo that was going on. And those got doused too. And I tried playing them the other day, and like the left one is all crackly and shot. The right ear is fine, and that really bummed me out too because those you can't replace. So I don't want to like go down this whole line of things that were destroyed, but it's a lot. Like my vaccination card, which I think I've salvaged, I just have to like scan it, but that was like friggin' doused because I had it in my notebook. I brought it to LA just in case I had to go anywhere where they needed like proof of the card and didn't accept a picture. Turns out I didn't need it at all. I should have left it at home, but that was doused. My notebook, whatever, and then the mouse. My headphones, and there was something else I forget. Anyway, it was whatever. It sucks. It's hard for me to watch that video. I don't like the heart-shaped hot tubs. Here's the thing with hot tubs. I was looking into them recently. I'll make this the last thing. I like the hot tubs that are like 80s style, or like maybe early 90s, where it's like bench seating, where it's like bench seating all around. The hot tubs they have now, they're like molded seats where there's like 50 jets per seat that pour out, and it's like for like, I don't want that. I just want a chill hot tub where you can like hang out, and it's like bench style seating all around, like you'd find at like like a pool or like a hotel or something like that. I don't like the gimmicky hot tubs. I just want a place where you can just go in, have a drink, have a cocktail, after, especially when it gets colder in New York, like in the fall. There's nothing better than having like a hot tub and be like outdoors, and I've been in apartments for so long, it's just been an impossibility. But now maybe, I don't know, we'll see. I'm a long ways away from being able to justify that expense. But I don't like the intense jets. I don't want to be inundated. But I want to like move my foot over to a jet if like my foot's sore. Like, oh, there it is, and then I'm done with it, and the rest of it's just like sitting in hot water. So. Yeah, the deep, like, I don't mind one that has like one deep seat that's like molded, but the rest of it I want bench. Like the ones that I've looked at, like just out of curiosity, I've looked at them, and it's all molded seats, all like captain's chairs they call them, like all around. And it's just like, I don't want to be constrained to like one spot. I want to be able to move around. I want to be able to have people in it if we're having a hot tub party or whatever. But maybe I'm in the minority because the majority of them seem to be totally carved out. I don't want to be blasted with like crazy jets, like it's some kind of like a thing that you're like a healing spa where you're just getting thing. But whatever, there's got to be a happy medium. Yeah, I'd like Tom's harem in the hot tub. That sounds good, Susie. Come on over. Yeah, we'll have a or of a Perry's Angels stream from the hot tub. Yeah, thanks, Beat. I know like the Wednesday streams aren't like crazy, and I don't want crazy for the Wednesday streams. I want like chill. Not. I think just had the right balance. I don't think it was too crazy, but I think everybody was good. A lot of good vibes tonight, and yeah, so I like that. I would like to keep them on the not short side, but like not go on for like 6 hours. At least the Perry portion. Sorry, just answering a text from Perry. I like when he asks if it's okay to throw away stuff. Yes, it's okay. Anyway, guys, we'll do our hot tub talk another time. Sorry for all the fast food talk tonight. I didn't mean to sound like such a such a fast food aficionado. It's just a fascinating topic. Yeah, I like that too, Belushi. My new favorite part of the stream is when Tom asks a semi-rhetorical question to the chat, and Perry chimes in with a confident answer that is nowhere near correct. I don't know. I kind of like that in a way because he does engage with it, and he takes it seriously. So I like that. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't like too much baby mode. There's a balance, they can't all be super hot. And I think there had to be a little bit of a lull after TomB week, just because you can't just keep ticking up from that. So there's got to be peaks and valleys in terms of the intensity, and there will be peaks and valleys. So I agree with you. Tom was interested in your Marvel movie views. Why do I think DC failed so hard? DC, I think, has been lost forever. Really, I mean, they fucked up everything. I mean, even going back to the original Christopher Reeve Supermans, they had Superman the movie. They kind of screwed up all those sequels. They had Batman '89, which to me it doesn't hold up as well, but I know it has its following, and they screwed up all those sequels. They had all the chances in the world to put something together before Marvel did, and then they didn't do anything. But they did really. Warner Brothers did great things with in animation. Like, Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series are just milestones of pitch perfect animation and the right people behind them. I really think the guys behind Batman the animated series should have been handling the movies, at least writing wise. And I think the Christopher Nolan movies were good for what they were, but then after that they should have completely reset the table. Instead, at the same time, they tried to be competitive with Marvel and wanted to race to do what Marvel was doing immediately, and immediately tried to do that with Man of Steel into Batman, Superman, and then immediately into the Justice League. And I think they raced to Justice League a little too fast, where they didn't let it breathe and they didn't grow it, and they made a lot of bad casting decisions, terrible people writing. Man of Steel is not that good. Batman, Superman is not that good, and I haven't seen the Zack Snyder Justice League, so I'll hold my opinion on that. But yeah, they just never. I think they spent too much time wanting to be Marvel so bad that they didn't spend time crafting, and which is crazy, because DC has the better characters. DC has Superman and Batman. And I grew up. If I were to go back in time and tell my 14-year-old self, like, in the future, you'll be way more into movies starring Iron Man and Captain America and Thor than you will be Batman and Superman, I would have told you you're fucking crazy. But yet here we are. That's exactly what happened, because the properties have never been handled right. And it's hard to write a good Superman movie, because Superman on paper is pretty boring. So it's a sorry state. It really is. It's a sorry state with these. Maybe in our lifetime DC will get their shit together. It doesn't look like it, though. This next Batman looks to be a fucking disaster written all over it. So they'll have to take some time off. Yeah, Gal Gadot looks like Wonder Woman. That's all she's got going for her. She looks like Wonder Woman, but she's a block of wood. She's a terrible actress. Terrible. Yeah, she's hot. She is hot. She's hot. She looks like Wonder Woman. She's got nice boobs. She looks great in the Wonder Woman costume. Her hair is great. She's the perfect template looks wise for Wonder Woman, but she stinks. She's not dynamic. She's not engaging at all. She's not funny. She's nothing. So it's not good. And I didn't love that first Wonder Woman. Everybody said that first Wonder Woman was so great. I thought it was okay, but it just was. No, she looks. I thought she had decent boobs. Did she not? Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't see the last one. I didn't see the second one. Yeah, of course I prefer Linda Carter. Linda Carter is one, just like Christopher Reeve is Superman. Everybody else is just playing Superman. But it's the accent, but she can't help that. But whatever. It's a shame. It's a shame that they couldn't do something. I'll tell you what I would like. I would like it if they would do what DC should do. Again, the thing that Marvel did so beautifully is they had pretty much adhered to the comics and based their stories around what happened in the comics. It's all there for you. DC, really, with every movie they've ever done, outside of origin stories, okay, we know Batman's story where his parents are murdered, and we know Superman's story where he's from Krypton, and that's adhered to, but then they make up their own stories. Look at Superman 3 with Christopher Reeve. It's such a moronic movie, and you had so many things to choose from the comic books, and that's what Marvel did right. They took the comic books, they adapted great screenplays. Were they exactly accurate? No, but they followed a generic template. DC has never done that. What I'd like to see DC do is take Michael Keaton and do the Dark Knight comic series, the Frank Miller from the 80s, where Batman is older, basically retired, and it's this like dystopian type future, Gotham City. Maybe even do Tim Burton. Tim Burton directed, even though Tim Burton kind of sucks now. Do a Dark Knight Frank Miller with Michael Keaton, and I'll be in for that. That's a license to print money, but nobody will. They won't do it because they're too stupid. But that's what you should do. And then reboot it, and then just reboot everything. Get rid of everybody and start from scratch and really craft it. But start at the end. Do a no. Gus Gorman was terrible, terrible. That movie. There's only one thing to like about Superman 3, and that's when the scene where Clark Kent fights evil Superman. It still looks good, it still holds up, and it's the best thing in that movie. The thing about Superman 3 that's both cool and sad is Christopher Reeve looks the absolute best he ever did as Superman in Superman 3. You see any still or any scene from the movie, he looks perfect. He had totally grown into it, and it's a shame. It's a shame they didn't do more with it. Oh, huge announcement from Hero. We hit 666 members in Facebook. Yeah, if you're not in the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. Perry Caravello Live on Facebook and the Facebook group. Also, there's a Perry Caravello Reddit. You should join too. For people that don't like Facebook, but the Facebook group's kind of where it's at. But yeah, that's what I would do with DC if I was in charge. And I never really saw Superman 4 in its entirety. I never saw it beginning to end. I know I've seen most of it, but that's obviously a different story. Who is the 666 member? Is there a prize? Yeah, Belushi. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't have more patience for that. It's just he was driving me crazy with that towards the end. I couldn't take it. Next TomB week, probably in the fall sometime. I think he might be doing another Adult Swim thing, honestly. So maybe I'll coordinate it around that. Am I excited about Space Jam 2? I never saw Space Jam 1. You don't see it's just Facebook/Perry Caravello Live. Shoot me a message. I'll send you an invite if you can't get into the Facebook group. It's easy to it's searchable. Lacey Warfield. Yeah, well, Liz, you got some deep knowledge about the Superman. Yeah, it's horrible. And that's another thing about Superman 4 too. Is the effects are so bad, and isn't there a scene where what's the actress's name that played Lacey? I forget her name, but there's a scene where he takes her into space, like he's flying with her in space, and I guess they forget that human beings can't breathe in space. Like it's just so cheap and shitty. Oh God! And they filmed it in England too, like trying to make it look like New York or Metropolis, and it doesn't work on any level. Yeah, I was too old for Space Jam when it came out. I just never cared about it. No, Perry's not doing extra work anymore. He's moved on from that. So no. Why would he want to sit around all day for no pay? I don't know. According to his text message, Perry's taking a shower. He said he liked the stream. He said, "How did you like tonight's stream?" I liked it because it wasn't super long. It should be like this every week. And yeah, Wednesdays can be like this, but well, Superman 4 didn't run out of money. Their budget was stolen from them because they were promised a certain amount of dollars from Canon, and then they took that money and they basically put it into what was that movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme? Not Bloodsport. I forget the name of it now. Some shitty Canon movie like came out in the late 80s. That's what they put them on. They basically siphoned the budget from Superman 4 into that, and that I mean, one of the many reasons why it's horrible, but it's also fucking no, not Lionheart. Cyborg. That's what it was. It was Cyborg. That was the movie they siphoned money for. There's a really good documentary on There's two documentaries on Canon that are worth watching, and it just shows you how terrible Canon was. Just like you admire them too. What's one thing I dislike the most about Perry? I'd have to give that more thought. I'd have to really think about that. That's not coming to me right away. It's just like there's things I definitely like. There's a lot of things I like about him. Honestly, he actually is a hard worker when he puts his mind to it. And he does take things seriously sometimes. Is there any concern that Perry sitting in his house all day would be regurgitating the same stories? Well, that's kind of what he is, isn't it? I think he'll have some new experiences, though. I think we'll be in for some good stories. Yeah, it's funny you say that. Superman 4 is awful. Time Bandits held up time. I saw Time Bandits in the theater. My aunt took me to see it. I like Time Bandit. I haven't seen it in a very long time. I would like to see it again. Terry Gilliam is very hit and miss for me, but that one is really good. And what I like it is it was always looked at through a kid's lens. So I loved it as a kid. I've never seen it as an adult. Like I saw it when I was so young. I didn't even know who Sean Connery was, and Sean Connery has a major part in that movie. And it wasn't special to me because I didn't know who he was when I saw it, which is crazy to think about, not knowing who Sean Connery is. Is there going to be an event since California? No, if there's an event for Perry Caravello Live, I guarantee you it will not be in California. Guaranteed. Maybe Vegas, we talked about, but we're a ways away from that. But no, there will not be a California event. I mean, at least not for the first one. Maybe eventually. Two things you hate about Perry is when he reads receipts and when he fidgets. Well, yes, I can concur with that. I don't like Brazil. I tried liking it. I don't love Brazil. 12 Monkeys I kind of like, but yeah, he can be exhausting to a director, Terry Gilliam. But there's a lot I like about him, and I'm not a Monty Python guy. I didn't come from that school where I worship the Holy Grail or something like that. I don't. What's the percent of Perry? Perry's gonna get a tattoo that says streamer. I guarantee it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna fucking happen. So, don't worry about that. Skankfest. Yeah, no. I mean, we can go on and on about the things I don't. I hate when he does the defiant peas. I hate when he disappears in the kitchen forever. I hate when I hate when he's rude to the delivery people, even though I know it's somewhat entertaining on a level, but I always feel bad for those people. He's been doing less of that. Yeah, Clerks sucks. Like, really does. Like, I thought Clerks was great when it came out. I saw it early. I had an early screener of it. I forget how I even got it, but I hate Clerks now. I don't think it holds up at all. I think it's embarrassing, actually, and I'm embarrassed that I ever liked it when I see it, and I haven't seen it in a long time. Did I ever think the shop vac would be the missing? No, that shop vac gets me every time. Even tonight, it's almost like you can almost say it's been done. Here we go, another shop vac. I'm in every time. Every time he's do it, because there's always something different with the shop vac. Like something blows away. Like even when the garlic flew away. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I agree. Kevin Smith is so overrated. I'm disappointed that he's doing the new He-Man, but I'll still give it a chance. But yeah, I've never liked a Kevin Smith anything. Oh, I don't think I've seen Clerks 2. I think I saw parts of it, and it was really cringe. So bad. But what's worse is people that love Kevin Smith. There was a friend that I knew. I don't know if he still holds this opinion, but he said Kevin Smith and Tarantino were basically the same. Because they came up at around the same time, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me that you're going to put those two in the same sentence? Kevin Smith and Quentin Tarantino? And I would get angry about it. Yeah, he's awful. And I like when you hear stories like Kevin Smith movies, like actors say, like, "Oh, he makes you stick to the script, and no improving allowed. His writing is so good." Dogma is not good. I disagree with that. I saw that. I thought it was horrible. But you're entitled to your opinion. I didn't even remember Rosario Dawson was in Clerks too. Ugh. Yeah, my cousin knows Kevin Smith. Like she like I'll get a little personal for a second. Like it's weird. So my cousin had a baby like last year, right? And she's older. She's like over 40, and she had a baby. So it was a big deal, like And so they're having a baptism because they didn't have a baptism last year. So they're having a baptism in June. I did not get an invite, and my mom was really upset about it. And apparently it was an oversight, and I'm not going. But my sister thinks it's because I'm so anti Kevin Smith, and Kevin Smith is going to the baptism because he's friends with my cousin and her husband. And I was wondering, like, oh, is that why? Because I'm so opinionated that they don't want me in the same room as Kevin Smith. God forbid I'd say something. So that could not be the answer. It could be any number of things, whatever. But it was definitely the first thing my sister said. She's like, "Well, I think Kevin Smith's going to be there," and I at one point I think I had posted something on Facebook years ago when I actually posted on Facebook. Now it's so cringe to even think about posting on Facebook any kind of opinion thing, and I said something like, "Oh my God, I can't believe Kevin Smith is still making movies," something along those lines, and apparently it did not sit well with her. Because and I think it's one of those things where they just like the fact that Kevin Smith is their friend, which I think is bullshit. I don't know, something to do with their podcast or whatever. Who cares? But I don't like Kevin Smith. I don't like him. I don't like his movies. I don't like the way he dresses. I never saw. I'm curious to see. People say Death Proof is terrible. I never saw the full version of Death Proof, like the movie on its own, not in a double feature. I would like to see that at one point. No, is that right? Okay, sorry. I thought I saw something pop up. I like Colin Farrell in certain things. He's really good in Bruges. If you ever saw In Bruges, he's really good in that. He's good in a couple of things, but you burn out on him in his like early 2000s output. But he's good in certain things. I'm gonna see Death Proof eventually. It's always been on my list of like. Because I only saw it in the theater when it came out in the double feature. That's the only one I've seen. They're doing the director of In Bruges is doing another movie with Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell. Very interesting to see what they're going to come up with. Not a sequel to In Bruges, but like a new film. What's your favorite literary character that he bastardized? Who did Spin the Bottle? Tom watched Spin the Bottle. See, I didn't like the Robert Rodriguez movie. I thought that was, but I don't remember it. I saw, like I said, I saw it once in the theater, and I don't remember it. I remember I was living in the Greenwich Village at the time, and I saw it at like, I don't know if that theater's still there, but I saw it at a theater in the Village. I just got a text from Perry. You're the best, thank you. Don't call tonight. The streams make me hot, but Scarlett Johansson needs to be here. It's now time for private time. And geez, that's disgusting. So, how about you just don't text that? Are the newer Planet of the Apes the best sci-fi trilogy ever made? Don't factor in nostalgia. They're very good. They're very well made. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to really think about that. They're very well made films. That's also a template of how to reboot a franchise. So it's a good question. I'd have to think about it. I'd have to think about it. I don't know what other trilogies, would be in that league. You might be onto something there. Was I legit mad when Perry punched me in the face at the pool? I was surprised more than anything else. But no, I don't think I was mad. But he did really mess up my eardrum. Like I actually technically still have issues with it because he lodged, like I had to go see a doctor like the next day. He like lodged some water. I still have like this thing where if I'm ever in a pool it clogs really fast. And I don't know if it's part of that. I'm just saying it is. But I never had a problem before that. He did get me really good. I saw Mad Max the remake. I didn't love it the way other people did. Maybe I need to watch it again, but I didn't see it in the theater either. Maybe you got to see it in the theater. I it didn't do it for me. I hate to say I didn't get it. I didn't get it, but maybe I'd have to see it again. You walked in on Perry taking a dump at the pool party. Ugh. That wasn't too hard to do. He was in there like every 20 minutes. Disgusting. But it's too bad. There's no movies anymore that's exciting to me. Like no nothing that I'm really into. Nah, I was never an MST3K guy or Riffrax guy, honestly. Just not that I don't like it. It just was never something I was exposed to. You love Fury Road. It's one of those movies that it's on cable. Yeah, I maybe I just need to see it again. Fury Road didn't do it for me. Maybe I was in a weird mood when I saw it, but I was expecting. I went in with very high expectations, which is probably bad. But I just didn't like it. But I never liked the originals. And not that I didn't like them, they just weren't me thing. What big screen classics, Chad? You know what I was really disappointed as far as you mentioned big screen classics? Raiders of the Lost Ark turned 40 last weekend, and I don't see any theater playing it. I've seen it a ton. I've seen Raiders anytime it comes back in theaters. I see it. It has been played a ton, but I am shocked that is not getting, especially now where there's not a lot of big movies out. How are they not re-releasing Raiders for the 40th anniversary? I would love to see that again. What's the oldest movie I like to watch? I don't know. I go back I'd have to think about that. I like some movies from the 30s, some movies from the 40s, but I think like movies in the 30s, the acting is still kind of like theater acting, if you know what I mean. Like they're still talking to, like people in movies in the 30s are still talking like there's a live audience. Like I don't think movie acting came into its own until the 40s, and maybe not even until the 50s, where they're just the way the dialogue is, like the dialogue and like two characters talking to each other. It doesn't seem very thing. Yeah, My Fair Lady though, that was a Fathom event. I saw that came. I didn't see the movie, but I saw that it was that. Fathom events are different. They do those all the time, but they didn't have any lineups that really interested me. But I'll check out Dune maybe. I wasn't big into the first one. 12 Angry Men is great. Yeah, that's 50s though. Now you're talking like much later, but like I love both Alien and Carpenter's The Thing. Especially Alien. You watch Citizen Kane on a plane? That's God. Orson Welles is rolling in his grave. Citizen Kane is great. People rate that very highly. It's not great because it's a great movie. It's just great for the things that were introduced. Oh, I definitely disagree with Tarantino hasn't made a good movie since '94. I disagree with that entirely. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is one of my absolute favorite movies. I saw it a ton of times. Fog is good. I'm trying to think of I'd have to really think about the earliest movie that I really like. It might be a Hitchcock movie. North by Northwest is one of my all-time favorite movies, but that's late '50s. I have to like something earlier than that. Um, I never liked It's a Wonderful Life, even though I've seen it a ton of times. I think it's overrated. I agree. I don't love the Kill Bill movies either. That's not a genre I'm interested in. I like Paper Moon too. Paper Moon was a great movie. Rope is good. Yeah, pretty much all the early Hitchcocks are great. Casablanca is very good. Yeah, like you know what? My answer might be the Maltese Falcon. Maltese Falcon would probably be the earliest movie that I go back to quite a bit, and I really like it. Tarantino is despicable. Well, that's your hot take. That's cool. Do you have pictures of that as Beatrice Kiddo? Did you pull that look off? Rear Window over Sunset Boulevard, any day of the week. I like The Wizard of Oz. I have always have fond memories of that. Yeah, I disagree with you. He's a fake rewrite of history. It's not a fake rewrite of history. It's his take on what would happen, and I don't think he's a weak writer at all. I think he's a very good writer. You're in the vast minority on that opinion, but you're entitled to it. The Hidden with Michael Nouri. What is that? Is that old? You know, Liz has Gone with the Wind. You know what? This is shameful of me to say. I've never seen Gone with the Wind, and it was playing in the theater like about 2 years ago. For a while, it was like the 75th anniversary or something like that. I was like, well, now's the time to see it. Now's the time. It's my sister's favorite movie, and maybe the reason I didn't see it was because it was her favorite movie. But yeah, I'm holding out for the theater to maybe see it. I love the John Wick the John Wick series. It's a better series than Matrix because the Matrix is a horrible series. Matrix only has one good movie. Oh, that's awesome. Tarantino sat in front of you at the New Beverly for a screening of Maltese Falcon is really good. It holds up. If you've never seen the Maltese Falcon, it's really good. And it's good for a handful of scenes. But it's not even good for Humphrey Bogart. It's good for Sidney Greenstreet, who's the heavy in it, Casper Gutman, and also Peter Lorre, who plays his henchman. And there's a great scene, one of the best scenes in any movie you'll ever see. A good dialogue scene, a good guy bad guy scene. If you go on YouTube and you look up the Sidney Greenstreet Humphrey Bogart scene where Humphrey Bogart goes into Sidney Greenstreet's suite and they have this conversation. I won't do it verbatim, even though I could. It's one of the best scenes ever. It's so good. It's so good. Watch The Maltese. If you've never seen it, it's a great movie. And why I don't like Kill Bill, it's not that I don't like Kill Bill, it's just I'm not into that genre of movies. And you could tell that it was a total passion project for Tarantino, that he was into like that, martial arts type genre thing. There's good stuff to like in it. I don't hate Kill Bill by any means. It just didn't grab me the way some of his other movies did. So I do like it. I just don't love it. I rank it the least favorite of his movies. Yeah, I've seen it On the Waterfront. Great movie. Facing the Crowd's great. I've not seen Ace in the Hole. Oh my God, Susie! I forgot about Venom. Venom is so fucking bad. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. That and the Bruce Willis Death Wish. Terrible movies. Yeah, that's right, Chaz. So yeah, I did see that Fathom has Citizen Kane. I've seen Citizen Kane in the theater, and I'll probably go to that. I'll probably see it again. But again, Citizen Kane isn't great for the movie itself. It's great for how groundbreaking it was and all the techniques that he used and stuff. The narrative story is not what you really go for. What's Perry's favorite TV show or show he's obsessed with? He's all over the place. Like he was watching Loki the other day, but whatever. Nate, when you watched Doctor Sleep, did you watch the long 3 hour version or the theatrical version? 'Cause, yeah, I stand by Doctor Sleep. One of the best new movies of the past few years. Really solid, especially considering it's a sequel to like a very highly esteemed film. And that one scene with the kid after the baseball game still haunts me. Like I still think about it, and I'm still traumatized from it. I feel as though I was there witnessing it. It was so like I even talking about it gets me. I can't even talk about it. Like and if a movie can do that to you, it's very effective. How did the stream go? It was fine. It was good. I think it was a good for a Wednesday. I think it was a very good balanced stream. Yes, I am a movie snob, Liz. I'm a movie snob. I'm a comedy snob. I'm a music snob. I'm a snob. Yeah, yeah. Susie said I'm an everything snob, but I admit it. I admit it. You know, I've never seen Doctor Strangelove either. That's a Kubrick I've never seen. Never saw Doctor Strangelove. Grapes of Wrath's very good, but Grapes of Wrath is so depressing. Yeah, Larry. There's Doctor Sleep, the theatrical version, which is very good, which is the one I've seen. And then when it came out on video, there's a 3 hour director's cut, which everybody says is much better. I still haven't seen that version. I'd like to. I'd like to see the 3 hour version of Doctor Sleep. Oh, that's cool. Michael met Henry Thomas, who played Jack Nicholson in Doctor Sleep. Yeah, I think he did a good job too. My problem with it is I wish they would have done a little bit of a deep fake with it and tried to get more of Nicholson's likeness applied to really sell that scene. But he did a good job. And it's a great scene when Hugh McGregor is sitting at the bar at the Overlook Hotel talking to the bartender who is basically Jack Nicholson from The Shining. It's a very powerful scene. It comes very far into the movie where you're deeply entrenched into the story. It's very good, and I like the fact that they don't go back to the hotel right away. The movie is very well crafted, where by the time you get to that hotel, it's earned. It's a payoff that is very earned through character development, through story development. And by the time you get there, you're ready for it. And I think a lesser film would have cut to that right away or tried to get there earlier and do some gimmicky shit. But the movie doesn't do that, and that's why I really respect it. Good night, Susie. I'm going to bed too. So thanks for hanging out. It's very rare that Susie stays for a whole stream. So that's good on you. Thank you. Yeah, just a little bit of CGI on him. Because if you go on YouTube, there's a very good deep fake video where they do that scene from the movie Doctor Sleep, and they do a deep fake with Nicholson. Now, to really sell it, they should have gotten Nicholson the voiceover. That would have been perfect, but that probably would have cost a ton of money. And I think Nicholson's probably retired at this point, but whatever. You can't have everything. But the YouTube video is very good. It's you almost wish it was incorporated into the film, but it's still good. It's still good. Any new shows? No, I haven't watched a new show in a long time. I don't watch TV. I really don't watch TV. I hate when people say that, but I don't watch TV. I watch baseball when I can. I watch a Mets game, and I watch a ton of YouTube. YouTube is basically 99.7% of what I watch, and I watch The Price is Right on Pluto TV, which is this app, and they have a Bob Barker Price is Right channel. So it's basically 24/7 of Bob Barker Price is Right from the early 80s, and that is all I watch. That and YouTube. That's it. There's shows I like. I really like Better Call Saul, but I never saw the last season that they aired last year. I still got to watch that. I like Cobra Kai on Netflix. I haven't seen the latest season of that. I talked about that. That's about it. I don't. There's no new show. I haven't gotten into a new show in a long time. It takes me a lot to get into a new show, and I hate pretty much all network shows, and I don't watch any comedies. I didn't watch any of the pilot stuff on YouTube. I'm going to save that. So no, I didn't see any of that. Yeah, exactly, Nate. You know, there's people that don't pay that watch a lot of YouTube and then just don't pony up for the premium. YouTube Premium is the best deal going. It's better than anything because you don't deal with those annoying ads. Plus, you get YouTube Music for free as a bonus, and I think that's better than Spotify or any of these other things. And I'm not the biggest streaming music fan, especially YouTube, Spotify, because I'm like a bit of, again, surprise, surprise, I'm a bit of a sound quality snob, so I don't like lossy, compressed music. But in the car, it's fine. You know, in the car, it's fine. Top 5 YouTube channels changes all the time. But I like Red Letter Media, but not so much lately because there's not anything new to talk about. Like I like when they do the half in the bag. I'm not big on their other shows, but when they do the review and like really analyze a film, I really like that. There's a lot of channels that not specific, but I watch a lot of old Siskel and Ebert. You know, more in lines of like film stuff, and then old talk shows all day long. In fact, when we were at the Adult Swim shoot, the creator of Smiling Friends, the co-creator, Zach and I were just talking about our favorite YouTube stuff because he's a YouTube guy. He came up from YouTube, and we basically like the same stuff. I'm Not Norm, the Norm Macdonald channel, we both love. And all these old talk show channels like that show like old, obscure talk shows from like the 60s, 70s. Not so much from the 60s because there's not a lot of them that survived, but like old Dick Cavett shows, Mike Douglas, Johnny Carson, stuff like that. Stuff that was before my time. And I like some tech reviews, but I burnt out on that. I like Flossie Carter on YouTube. If you're into like phone reviews and like he's very honest and he does very entertaining reviews. And there's a lot of audiophile channels I follow. Yeah, I heard Lossless is coming to Spotify, but I mean, I'm already with Tidal, so I don't know if I'd switch over. Maybe I'll see. How did the Adult Swim thing go? It went great. It went as good as it could have possibly gone. Perry knew his lines. He was dynamic in his performance, even in front of a pretty large crew. Like there was a pretty large crew there, full of people. And took direction very well. You know, I felt like basically me and this guy Zach were pretty much co-directing him, and he were good. Yeah, Flossie Carter headphone reviews are. I'd love to see. I kind of know the area he lives in because he's a Queens guy. I'd love to know where he keeps all these things because he always has like all these headphones and thing. Liz, you and I gotta part ways if you don't think Norm Macdonald is funny. Who do you think is funny if you don't think Norm is funny? Norm's the only comedian I do think is funny. Norm and Gilbert, Gottfried, everybody else sucks. There's no other comic I like. Active, you know, and we're not talking about like, you know, dead comedian, you know, Carlin and, you know, but yeah. There's just you know I'm trying to build a media room right now, or in my head I'm trying to. I probably can't afford to build with the one I really want, but so I'm watching a lot of like audiophile like speaker stuff and do speaker cables matter, placement and room treatments and shit like that. And then I'll just watch. There's a lot of like weird rabbit hole of like weird analysis video. There's this channel I watched. Actually, I'd really recommend it. Let's see if I could pull it up in my history real quick. It was like analyzing scenes from The Godfather, and I'm not even the biggest Godfather guy, but I found it fascinating. It was a really good breakdown. If I can find it here on my phone. Hang on a second. Go to my watch history. It can't be that long ago. This is how much I watch, though. It's almost impossible to find things. This channel is called The Culture Mafia, and he does really good breakdowns of like mobbing. It said, how did Michael know it was Hyman Roth? And then it was Michael Corleone versus Hyman Roth. And it's a 15-minute video, but it really breaks down that whole time. Because that's something I always wondered in Godfather 2, is how does Michael know for sure that Hyman Roth, because the movie's a little ambiguous about that, and it breaks it down really well. It leaves off on a cliffhanger. There's going to be a part 2. But it's very good. And very well worth watching. But it's like little things like that come up in my algorithm. Yeah, Liz, I don't get it. You got to defend. You got to defend why you don't like Norm. Maybe you just haven't been exposed to the right kind of Norm. Yeah, Chaz, that's a good. Collective learning is good too, and I actually have gone onto the website. That's collective learning does good breakdowns on films. Like he did one on Psycho 2, which I talked about. Like he did a good breakdown on Psycho 2, and he has a website where he does some deeper dives. I've even actually purchased on the website. So yeah, really good. I really like that channel a lot. Yeah, I agree. Norm's Weekend Update still holds up. Yeah, and I stopped watching Saturday Night Live after Norm left. Well, Norm was fired. I've never watched it again. Well, yeah, I watched the one time he hosted. That's the only time. After that, I never watched it. Who shot Nice Guy Eddie? I don't know. I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs in a long time. I should probably see it again. Tim and Eric was your... Yeah, I never got into Tim and Eric, to be honest with you. I never got into them. Not to say that they're, it's just that I don't like it or anything. It's just not my thing. The channel, JJ, is called, and there's a lot of Godfather videos on there, but it's interesting that the guy's voice is a little annoying that does the narration. It almost sounds like one of those, like, voice machines, like like a text to speech things, but it's not. But that's the only thing. His cadence is a little cold. Like his reading is bad. Like I almost wanted to redo all his voiceover because it was like, ooh, this is dreadful. But the and I really like that. I'm just going through my videos here. I also like Steve Guttenberg, Audiophiliac. He does a daily audiophile show where he reviews something different or talks about some audiophile. Not to be confused with Steve Guttenberg. Rate the Tarantino films off the top of my head. I would just have to go. Is it laggy? Well, I'll kill it. It'll balance out. It's not me doing it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my favorite. Number 2, I would go Pulp Fiction. 3. Shit. 3's tough. Maybe Reservoir Dogs. 4. Inglourious Bastards. And now you're getting into, like, I don't like them as much. 5, Jackie Brown. 6, Django Unchained, which I don't like that much at all. And 7, Kill Bill. 1 and 2. I don't really rank them separately. And then everything else. What am I? I'm missing A Hateful Eight. I'd crowbar that into like the bottom end as well. Not huge on it. Still trying to think of other YouTube channels I liked, but yeah, I mean it's all I watch. So there's some things that come up. Some gaming streams, but it's more like about retro gaming, not anything new. I hate watch a couple of streams too. There's a couple of guys I can't stand, but I watch. There's this one guy that does headphone reviews that I want to just smash in the face. I actually met him last year at. There's this thing called Can Jam that they do, around the world. I mean, obviously not this past year, but like right before the pandemic, I went to the one in New York, and it's just they showcase all these like audiophile equipment and like headphones and stuff. And this guy does a YouTube channel, and he was just walking around with a GoPro strapped to his head, and I knew immediately who he was. And I was like, oh my god, that guy's so annoying. Favorite episode of the Big Three podcast? Shit. I'd have to think about that. It's been so long since I've been able to enjoy that on any level. So if it's probably from the first year, one of the shows. Not contracts. I know everybody says that. Michael says, Tom, I love that you love Once Upon a Hollywood so much. Great taste. Yeah, I know. I've only seen it in the theater, and I saw it about 8 times in the theater, which is unheard of for me. I used to, like, back, when I was younger, I would see movies. If movies I liked, I had to go back to see it again and again because I love that theater experience. But Once Upon a Time, I just refused to see it home because I just think it plays so well in the theater. And I was lucky enough to see it a bunch of times, and then it came back like last February, right before the Academy Awards. They brought it back, and then when I was in LA, I saw it at the New Beverly. That was the last time I saw it, and it was a great experience. They actually had the dog there from the movie, and I got to take a picture with the dog. It was great. I think I need to justify where I don't like Django Unchained. It's a little too gimmicky for me, Chaz. It's just I don't like the modern music in it. I think it's very self-indulgent on Tarantino's part, and good directors can fall into that trap. Even Christopher Nolan with Tenet last year, I thought that was extremely a self-indulgent piece. And I like Nolan a lot. In fact, I'd say Nolan's my second favorite current working director, but it was self-indulgent. It was too much. It was too much Nolanism shit. And Django Unchained is a little too much Tarantino-y. I didn't like the fact that he reused Christoph Waltz right away because he's so attached to that role in Inglourious Bastards. I thought it was a weird casting, even though he's very good in the film. Jamie Foxx is okay. DiCaprio is the best thing about the movie. Like once you get to that stuff with DiCaprio, it's great. That's the stuff that you wait for, but it takes a long time to get there. I didn't love the ending, and it's fine. And maybe I only saw it one time in the theater, so it's one of those movies I probably need to revisit. And out of respect to Tarantino, I would revisit it. But it doesn't hold up. It's not in the league of Inglourious Bastards or anything that came after it. But the thing about Inglourious Bastards that's rough is it's subtitles for such a heavy portion of the movie. And not to sound like an ignoramus, but I hate watching movies with subtitles. I just don't like. I don't like reading. I don't like reading in a movie. So there's that, but there's some great moments in Inglourious Bastards. As a whole, it's heavy to have to watch. It's not a movie I can rewatch very often. It's very heavy. I gotta say, if getting back to, because I see people talking about the big three stuff, and I'm probably gonna get crucified for this. I like the Perry's Apartment one with Neil Leeds. When Neil Leeds was, and I have special reasons why I do like that one. So that might be my answer. But I'll tell you my real answer. That one, and I like the very last Ace episode, the one where I forget the name of it now. The one where Mole came in all cleaned up, and he was ready to he was going to get everybody rich. That was, I forget the name of it. Fuck, I don't have a good memory for that anymore. But those two, to circle back to that answer. Chaz saw Once Upon a Hollywood 2 times in the theater. Second time just focused on DiCaprio movie scenes. Yeah, I've done that. I've seen it. Like yeah, and I love Once Upon a Hollywood. And there's this one guy on my Facebook. He's not really a friend, but he's a guy I used to know. And he before I saw the movie, he lambasted once. He's like, "Oh, Tarantino's worst movie. There's no plot or anything." But when I saw it, I was like, "He's insane." That's what I love about it. You're just kind of hanging out with these characters, and you're engrossed in this time period. And it's not about plot devices. It's about character development. It's about a certain place at a certain time. And yes, Tarantino was playful with the timeline, but I love that. It's great. I saw it in a packed theater opening weekend, and when that ending comes, when those Manson people show up at the house, that theater was on fire. I almost wish I had a recording of the theater. It was so much fun. You don't really get that too much anymore, like those opening night crowds that go crazy. Why Perry Caravello ending stream running for hours? Because I don't have a camera set up right now. I will once I move. I'll get things set up. You won't be watching this car anymore. I'll have something more dynamic because I'm getting an office that I'm using as a voiceover studio as well. So it'll be better. It just this ending soon thing is just temporary. Yeah, I agree with Neil Lee. Neil Lee is such a divisive person in that universe because people hate him. But yeah, I've met Neil a number of times. The Big Goodbye, that was the one I was thinking of. The Big Goodbye, number one. Number two is the one with Neil in Perry's apartment. And I don't, like, I don't know. Yeah, God's Dust. It was just, I was actually in Scotland when I was listening to that. I love the, because Neil is such a character in and of himself. You went in not knowing about the murders? Jesus. How old are you? How do you not know about those murders? Because I not only did I know about the murders, I knew enough where there was a stuntman that was killed at Spawn Ranch at one time. And the scene where Cliff, Brad Pitt's character, goes to Spawn Ranch, I thought that he's going to get it. He's going to die. And it's such an intense scene when he goes up in that house, and it's directed so well. I was totally engrossed in that, and I thought, oh, he's going to die here, because I just from history, I just knew that a stuntman was killed there by, like, they killed some old stuntman that came back to visit. I don't know all the details about the real life thing, but anyway, I thought that's what he was going for. I was like, oh no, I really like this character. I don't want him to die, and I was so engrossed in it. And then when he got away, I was like, I don't know what to expect for the rest of this movie, and I was totally in. And I wish you can never recapture your first viewing experience of any movie, but I almost wish I could see it again for the first time. Oh, did that house sold? Yes, I didn't see that. And yeah, I agree, Nate. Like, that's what I love. I love the ending because it's not like it's not really rewriting history. I think what Tarantino is saying, and the same thing with Inglourious Bastards, is no, this isn't the way history went, but this is the way history would have gone if this guy lived next door and these characters were there at the time. This is exactly how it would have gone. And I think he was very careful not to be disrespectful to history and what really happened. But it's also, when you know what really happened, it's all the more satisfying to see these fucking, horrendous people just get their comeuppance. And Brad Pitt's bashing that crazy pitch into the phone and then into the fireplace. It's so, I mean, people were going apeshit crazy when we saw it in the theater. I loved that. And I think I kept going back. It's I've never done heroin, but people say when you do heroin, when you're addicted to heroin, you're always trying to chase that first high, and it's never as good. And I think every time I went to see the movie, I was trying to get that high that I got from the first time seeing it. And to the film's credit, it pretty much gave it to me every time. What the fuck did I just drop? Oh, you're 26? Yeah, 26. You should know. You should know the history. 26. You should know your history and know what happened. The Manson family murders. I don't know what went wrong in your pop culture education. That's not even pop culture. But I'll forgive you. Now you know. That's the other thing too about the movie. When you see it for the first time, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like, and there's that montage where they play the Rolling Stones song "Out of Time," and it's not even it's kind of an obscure version. I always liked that song, and the movie's almost preparing you for the ending, like "Baby, baby, you're out of time," and I was like, oh yeah, Sharon Tate's now going to get killed because the date. You know the date. I mean, at least a lot of people know the date of when it happened, and you're like, oh, like I kind of like this character. She's so nice. Like I don't want to see this. I know what Tarantino's capable of. I don't want to see this. I almost want to walk out now. and leave on a good note. I don't want to see this brutal ending. And that's what a good movie can do to you, is it turns your stomach and you're just like tensely waiting for something to happen. And then when it doesn't, when it turns directions, it's so satisfying. And that's what I love about that. One of the many things I love about that movie is that it grabs you, and but you can never really experience that again. Why would you bang Brad Pitt sideways? It seems like an uncomfortable position. But yeah, it's such a fucking great movie. I understand why some people say they don't get it or whatever, but whatever. You rewatched Jackie Brown? Yeah, I like I said, I think it was the last time I watched Jackie Brown. I saw Jackie Brown when he came out in the theater. I didn't like it. I thought it was a bummer. I was like, oh, that's a shit follow up to Pulp Fiction. It's like when there's an album that comes out and then the follow up album isn't as good, and you're like, ah. But then years and years later, I rewatched it. And I don't think it's the best thing, but it's very good. It's very good. Good character moments. Good, it's good. Yeah, JJ, I kind of agree with you that there's a lot of anticipation with Kill Bill because there was such a long a long gap, and then. Yeah, I don't know. There's things to like in those movies, but I don't get the. Sorry, my chat's like all buggy on this end. I don't know what it's like on the thing, but it's like all like stuttery. I'm trying to. Fuck, this isn't working right. Streamlabs is hit and miss. Yeah, 97 to 03 is a long time. I just wish it could have been something more interesting, but whatever. That's fine. There's a lot of people that are into that genre, and that's why that movie has such a following. Just never something that really grabbed me. See, I think Uma Thurman's a little over the top in Kill Bill. Like I don't know. I'm not an Uma Thurman guy, but I should stop talking because I don't want to come off like I don't like those movies. I do like them. I just don't worship them. I don't need to try Jackie Brown again. I've said, I like the movie, and I've seen it as an adult. I don't need to try it again. I've seen it as an adult. I do like it. It's not something that I need to revisit. Heat's a hard watch beginning to end, but it's great. It's great, and I am the same. I am with you. I've talked about that. Where Happy Time Harry, where I can't watch that ending of Heat. I can't watch once De Niro turns off that freeway and goes to that hotel. I cannot watch it after that because I want to make a cut of Heat and fade out when he's driving away. And you just assume, and then it cuts to a plane taking off. That's the version of Heat I want to watch. I cannot watch it. Cannot watch it. But everything else in Heat is fucking great. It's a long movie. It's a long movie though. It's like I gotta be in the right mood for it. There's so much shit going on. I need to skateboard, green style. Maybe I do. Will that help me lose weight? Apparently, according to Perry, it's exercise. Yeah, Heat was amazing in theaters. What's crazy about Heat is it was in the theater the same time Casino was in the theater. Like you could see, if you go to multiplex, there'd be Casino on one screen and Heat in the next, which is insane. They both came out in November of '95. What the fuck can I spell? There we go. I should get a shop vac hero. You know, here I was actually thinking about you. I'm actually kind of leaning to your advice on the projector for my media room, because God, I'm probably overdoing it, but like the room that I'm thinking of doing was planned as a bedroom, but it works better as a media room, and I'm planning it out, and I'm almost looking at projectors now because they work better now with some light coming in. So my only issue with the projector is if somebody gets up, like you're watching a movie, somebody gets up, like your head cuts into the screen. I've tried keto. I do a variation of keto. I don't do strict keto, but I do a variation of it. But maybe it takes so much discipline. I like drinking too much to do keto successfully. I can do it for short bursts, but I can't do it for long stretches. I like drinking too much, and I like carbs. And I'd have to give myself a cheat day. Even when I was like on no carbs and was in the best shape of my life about 2 years ago, I still had once a week cheat day. But I'm gonna hit it hard. I mean, I can be very disciplined when I want to be. I just haven't been disciplined. When are we getting a Perry hot tub stream? When Perry's apartment complex doesn't have a disgusting hot tub that doesn't work. It's so gross. So yeah, he doesn't have a functional hot tub. You join late, but movie talk with TomB. Yeah, that's why I always think like maybe I should just start a different channel and switch. And the people that switch over, and we'd probably lose people that don't make the transition. But I don't know. I'll think about it. Wow. Mr. Giant Dog watched Casino for the first time and thought it was a piece of shit. That's hardcore. Sorry. I love Casino. I've heard people say they don't love Casino as much, but I've never heard someone call it a piece of shit. I do intermittent fasting. I'll do that as well. I basically eat once a day. Right now I eat once a day, and which is probably not healthy, because when I eat once a day, I eat probably more than I should. But I only eat once a day. Casino is terrible, almost as bad as Aaron. Okay, no, you're definitely off. Hey, you're entitled to your opinion, but you're off on that. Fourth keto, you have 2 cheat days a week, drink on both, still lose weight. Okay, maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll do that. I need to do something. Fuck. I didn't love The Irishman. I thought The Irishman could have been better. I think they really needed to spend more money on the CGI, the de-aging. The de-aging just doesn't work in that movie. These guys are too old to play the roles that they were playing. And I saw Irishman in the theater because I refused to see it on Netflix. I saw it like it was a very limited run in theaters, but I saw it. I saw it in Queens at this theater that I like, and it's weird. Like when it's like supposed to be young De Niro. And, like, there's that scene where he shoots the guy in the Little Italy restaurant, and then he, like, shuffles off like an old man, but he's supposed to be, like, in his 30s. But he walks like an old man, and he runs like an old man, and it's clearly an old man, like shuffling along. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I think the film was made about 20 years too late, unfortunately. But it's good. It's got a lot of good stuff in it, but they should have spent more money and more resources on the de-aging because it doesn't work, especially on a big screen. You want a camping trip with friends and just saw photos last weekend? Yeah, it's funny. That's how I felt about. First of all, I knew that I had to get myself in shape again. But there's a couple of things I saw from like TomB week that I was just like, good fucking God. Like, what have you fucking done to yourself? Like, I had like an emergency session with myself. So I'm letting myself move this week, and once I get settled and everything, I'm gonna get back to it and just be disciplined. You got to be disciplined. Just that's what it comes down to. You got to say no to yourself, and I haven't been saying no to myself. No, yeah, Mark. I agree. Psycho 2 is amazing, great film. No, I've not seen Bates Motel. Is it good? Is it respectful to the canon of Psycho? Does it have an ending? Like, or did it just get canceled? Yeah, that's hero calls. Young De Niro walks like Christopher Boyle in Young Frankenstein. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, we all agree that Casino's great. There's one guy that doesn't like it. That's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Yeah, that's a good fucking point, Mumble. I wouldn't get drawn into the stream when I say I'm ending early. Well, my drink's almost empty, so as soon as that ends, I'm gonna go. CGI in Rogue One was okay, but again, it's not. None of it's ready for prime time. None of it's ready for prime time. It's like it's not quite there yet. And I wish these films would update themselves as the years go on. Like go back to it and update it with better technology. They won't because they don't want to spend any money on a film that's already in the can. But like the Princess Leia shot in Rogue One is kind of terrible. Tarkin is okay, but it's not quite there. It's not quite there. But they've done it in other movies where it's like the Marvel movies do it really well, but they do it in small doses. It's hard to do it for a long time. See, the problem with Irishman is you had to do it for a long time. Even Rogue One, those are quick hits. Ton of money. Like look at Captain America: Civil War when you got young Tony Stark, and it looks really good. He looks like it's. I don't want to say flawless, but it looks like almost like Robert Downey Jr. looked in the '80s. Not completely flawless, but good enough to pass. And then they also did a great job in Ant-Man with Michael Douglas, where he looked like Wall Street Michael Douglas. But again, very a couple of minutes of screen time. You could spend a ton of time doing that, but for a long time, what do I think of Wolf of Wall Street? It's okay for like modern era Scorsese, but it doesn't match up with prime era Scorsese. Same thing with Departed. I consider like Departed, Gangs of New York, Wolf of Wall Street all in the same modern-esque Irishman Scorsese. Very good, but not in the same realm of Goodfellas, Casino, Taxi Driver, that thing. Perry can give you a recap on Friday. 'Cause I don't know. 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 And Sharon Stone's legitimately great in that. I mean, she played De Niro, but De Niro knew he was being played, but still loved her anyway because he loved having. Because he was so attracted to her. Okay. Bates Motel leads up to Psycho 1. Yeah, I didn't love the guy that was writing it. The guy who did Lost, not Damon Lindelof, the other guy. I forget his name. I don't love him, and I didn't trust it. And I love Psycho and Psycho 2. And Psycho 3 to a certain extent. I have a soft spot for it, but I didn't want to mess with that. But I'll check it out. On your recommendation, I'll check it out. I love the whole Psycho story. I mean, I've seen Psycho so many times, and we've talked about the merits of Psycho 2. Again, I'll reiterate: if you've seen Psycho and never seen Psycho 2, you're doing yourself a disservice. It is one of the absolute best sequels ever made. Not just the best horror sequel. Not just it is to me, and for my money, it is the best horror sequel. But it's not only one of the best horror sequels, it's one of the best sequels, period. And I think the longer the gap between films, the harder it is to do. And they pulled it off. Can I change my mic from stereo input to mono? Yeah. It's weird the way we do these streams. It's not a direct. It's hard to explain. But I'm also going to be getting a different mic because I need it for work for voiceover stuff. I need a better mic. Right now I just have a USB plug-in mic. There's not a mono option in the properties of Streamlabs here. I've tried to mix it down. I'm actually looking right now. It should be mono, actually. From all, but I understand. Yeah, voiceover should always be mono. No, I know how I sound live, and I totally understand what you're saying. I'm a sound guy, and I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, I'll figure it out. It's just, again, it's hard to explain how this stream runs with importing Perry and everything, but I can't get into the let me see if I can get into the output here. It gives me it doesn't give me options for stereo mono. It gives me options for bit rate. Let me play with this. Hang on a second. It doesn't give me a straight option for mono on the microphone itself, and it doesn't do that either. Hitchcock. Yeah. Anyway, I know what you're saying. I hate J.J. Abrams. I think J.J. Abrams is the cinematic antichrist. Can't stand him. He never did anything I liked. Yeah, I love the Joe Bob cameos. I mean, I have a friend of mine, I think I've talked about this, where we just quote, whenever we do something stupid, we just quote Joe Bob from Casino, where like I'll be like, oh no, you did the wrong thing, you didn't do that right. And my friend will be like, dang, you are so right, Mr. Rothstein, I am so sorry, I will get that sorted out right away. Like, he's such a dumb, I wish Joe Bob did more movies, because he's such a great actor, and he's so entertaining. He should be doing like there's a guy that should have a YouTube channel. He should be doing way more things and like have a podcast, because I fucking love him. No, not the Star Trek reboot. Star Trek reboot's entertaining despite J.J. Abrams, not because of J.J. Abrams. The problem with Star Trek, anything post 2009, including the Star Trek reboot, is written by people who don't know Star Trek. J.J. Abrams was not a Star Trek fan, admittedly. and none of the other people, and Kurtzman, who basically has run Star Trek since and run it into the ground. They don't have any reverence for Star Trek. They don't know the canon. They don't know the history of Star Trek. And yeah, the first movie is fun in a way, in like an alternate universe type way. But yeah, fuck that whole series, and fuck all Star Trek post 2009. He saw J.J. Abrams is smoke and mirrors. Like, I don't know how I feel like he's a con artist. Like, he conned his way into people thinking that he's this great director, like in line with like Spielberg and stuff. All his shit is like derivative fucking smoke and mirrors. Like, he's just never done anything original at all, ever. And people give him credit for Lost. He just directed the pilot, for Christ's sake. He didn't like really do anything for that show. But yeah, I can't stand him. I don't. My one of my good friends has a small part in the Star Trek reboot, so I have a minor soft spot for it. But as alternate universe, I would rather see the Tarantino Star Trek movie. And Tarantino said that he would fuck that time. He's like, fuck that timeline. I'm not dealing with that J.J. Abrams timeline. And they were like, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think Lost holds up. I think Lost was fine for the time it came out, but if you revisit it now, not as good. And yeah, Mission Impossible is good, but that's, again, despite J.J. Abrams. And it's probably the best thing he ever did, by the way, is Mission Impossible 3. It's good for other reasons. It's good for Philip Seymour Hoffman, and the script is pretty good, but that's not J.J. Abrams. And he's doing Superman now, apparently, allegedly. That's his next project. Is another Superman movie, so you know it's going to suck. I don't understand how studios give him so much clout. He must have information on them. Franchise assassin is accurate. Yeah, that's a great one, Nate. If J.J. Abrams gets a tattoo for Lost, he will only get one for The Office too. He directed one episode, 2 parts. Yeah, right, exactly. Like, why does he get credit for Lost? I have, yes, Hero. Have you ever watched the real Frank Rosenthal show depicted in Casino? I have, yes. Yes, I've seen that. It's great. It's worth a watch. Yeah, that's another issue with Lost, is that, and again, it ties into like the Star Wars sequels. They made it up as they went along. They didn't have an arc. They had a great story, and if you ever rewatch Lost, and I think I rewatched it, not rewatched it. I think I watched the first couple of seasons over again while the show was still running. The first half of the first season is as good as that show ever got, because it was full of mystery. It was all set up, and all this stuff. And then when the show got successful, they actually had to answer it. I always thought Lost would work better as like a one season, one and done, and it probably would have been a lot better if that show didn't get great ratings, and they would have said, okay, we're going to cancel you. You better wrap this up. Maybe it would have been good, but it just got, again, it's another thing that got very self-indulgent, and I hate when shows, TV series. That's why I don't like the British show Sherlock, the Sherlock Holmes series. That's another one. It's a victim of its own success because the show falls in love with itself, and you can see that in later seasons and later episodes where it's just. The product itself is in love with itself, and that's what I got from Lost. Not only that, they just didn't know, they were making it up as it went along. They didn't have any answers, and then the laziest thing to do is, well, what do you think this is? What do you think the island? Well, it's not. That's not why I watch these things. It's not why I've invested 7 years of my life into it. So I can work for you. You have to give me that answer. Yeah, I saw Boardwalk Empire, and I liked most of it. There might be one clunker season in there, but yeah, I liked it. Again, didn't love the ending. I thought the ending was a little rushed. I didn't love the finale, but Very good. Boardwalk Empire. No, I've never seen Pin. Never heard of it. Psychological Theater with Terry O'Quinn. Yeah, Terry is great in that first Stepfather. He's also good. He's got a great episode in Star Trek: The Next Generation. Great. He's a very good actor. I think he was in X-Files too. No, I never watched Kenny versus Spenny. I know nothing about it. I know nothing about it outside that there is a show called Kenny versus Spenny. That's about as far as I'll go. Yeah, once you realize it was all nonsense and they were just making shit up as they went on, all it had going for it was character drama. And then the character drama, who cares? There's very few characters you cared about. And then the show constantly, because you can't have a show with that big of a cast all the time, so they constantly had to break up, like every season. They had a break. Like there'd be one episode where all the cast gets back together. Like they all come from different points of the island and they meet on the beach and they're all together. And then they'd split them up again into different segments because you can't have all those people in one thing. It's too much going back and forth. I think it also gets expensive with contracts. So then like they'd have one episode where it would end on something like one of the characters you actually cared about, like let's say Sawyer, for example, and then it would end on a cliffhanger, like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what happens with him next week. But then next week would be an episode about Hurley or something that you don't give a shit about, and they're like, oh fuck, and then you gotta wait. You realize as you're watching it, I gotta wait an extra week to get the resolution from the previous week, and it's got really frustrating. The cast was too big and so many people. So many characters just you don't care about. Yeah, that sounds right. That Terry O'Quinn was the test pilot that got cancer in X-Files. I think he played another character in X-Files, maybe the movie? I can't remember. But Terry O'Quinn's in a lot of cool stuff. Stepfather being probably the coolest. I think my thing froze again. This has been glitchy lately. And the other thing I got to figure out is how to get back to 1080p. I'll try to figure it out before Friday. The software's been super glitchy. There's one thing in Lost that I always remember with Hurley, and it wasn't one of my favorite characters, but it was one of the later seasons where he was like back home, and his dad was like Cheech Marin, and he was rich because he won the lottery. That was one of his backstories. And he's making this insane sandwich in his kitchen, and he's got like all these great cold cuts. Again, getting back to food, I sound like a fat fuck, but he's making this crazy sandwich, and I just remember the sandwich. And he puts like turkey on it, and then he puts a douse of caviar on top of it, and closes it up and eats it. And I'm like, ooh, I want to try recreating that. That looks great. I never did, but it's weird that that's one thing I remember about the show. And I kind of like the season later on where they were in the 70s, and like there was like a time shift. That was kind of cool, but again, no real resolution. Yeah, and Westworld's only good for the first season. Westworld should have been a one-season show. The second season's terrible, and I never saw the third season. I mean, is it any good? Is the third season any good? First season's great. First season's got great music. It's got great cast. It's very well done. But it should have ended there. I'll write down Pym. There's going to be a while before I can get into series. An older movie that I would like to see get a remake. I'm not a fan of remakes, so that's kind of tricky. I'd have to get back to you on that. Really, revisit Westworld? It heats up. Like the third season's good because I've heard some bad things. No, I didn't see Watchmen. Um, I never. I never saw the movie. I never read the comic, and I didn't see um, I didn't see the recent show. But whatever. I can't stand Seth Rogen. It'd be hard for me to get into Preacher. Nah, I don't think a Highlander reboot's necessary. No, I never saw Mad Men. It's one of those shows. Never saw Mad. Like, there's a bunch of shows, and like when we were in that era of like, oh, TV shows are great now. Like all of a sudden, like Sopranos heralded this time where like TV shows were more like cinematic, and it wasn't just like network TV shit. It was like, and then Sopranos led to things like The Shield or Breaking Bad, and there was this renaissance with TV, which people think we're still in. We're not. We're not. We're well out of that era. But Mad Men was one of the shows I just missed out on. I never saw Dexter either. That was another one that was a big deal. I never saw either one. But I would. I just not. It's just not something that's on my thing. Mad Men is a show you watch with your wife over it. Yeah, I kind of got that impression because most people that talk up that show are women. Yeah, and right there's that was it Christina Hendricks who has the huge boobs? I've seen her. I, it's not like I don't like Jason Segel. I don't doesn't really he doesn't exist in my universe. I don't really know him. I don't know anything he's in. I mean, I think he was on some TV show that I didn't watch. And Sopranos, I've never seen the second time around. I'm not. I don't ever. If I, it's like Seinfeld is the same way for me as Sopranos. I'm so sick of it, and I'm so sick of the pop culture influence of it. I can't watch it now, and maybe in another 10, 20 years when I'm old, I can maybe revisit those things, but not anytime soon. I don't. I don't give a. Yeah, I can't see myself watching Sopranos. I would watch the Sopranos movie though, the one that's coming out. Okay, cool. Yeah, send me an email. I use Streamlabs to broadcast, and I'm using a Blue Yeti. I'll give you the exact model number. It's the latest one, the Blue Yeti 2. But if I get a new mic, I am going to get a new mic because I need one for voiceover work, and that the only reason I like about this mic is it's simple. You just plug it into USB and it works. The problem with it is there's not a lot of controls you have over it, and the mixer in Streamlabs doesn't give you a lot of options. I can't down mix into a mono on the fly. I mean, it does give you this thing. Hang on a second. Let me know if this works. I'm going to just click some things right here. Boom, boom, boom. So now I have one track on, but it doesn't. It's not an exact science. So let me know if like right now I just changed something. If it's any different, let me know. But if I get a real mic, like a Shure mic, I used to have a good one. That also got destroyed, not by Perry, and I have to get a mixer for it. So it's a whole. Again, everything's an expense, and it's like I'm right on. I'm totally over my budget and things I'm doing right now, so I got to be careful. Yeah, I like Curb Your Enthusiasm. I like over Seinfeld. I can watch that, and I like Breaking Bad. But again, I'm sick of it. Like I don't want to revisit Breaking Bad. I prefer Better Call Saul, to be honest with you. Breaking Bad is oversaturated to me. Yeah, but where am I going to get the high pass filter on this? Like there's no, like I can mix it. Like here's what I do. Like even for the YouTube stuff, when I do the YouTube stuff, again, like I output it and I down mix it a little bit so it's not as intense, and I balance out. Sometimes Perry's louder than me. Sometimes I'm louder than him, and I compress it, the two tracks. And I think in doing so, it does I think Perry's in stereo as well. But yeah, I don't know. Let me see what this does. I don't know. Tom Brennan, snob of all media. Yeah, it's cool, but I am a snob and I am an asshole with certain things, but I don't come out and say that my opinion is the definitive opinion that everybody should have. I don't like when people do that, where it's like you can be opinion. I think the thing to being opinionated about stuff is you're passionate, and I'm more passionate about things I don't like than the things I do like. But I'm passionate about both, so I think I'm passionate, but I don't think that my opinion on things is the definitive that everybody should have. And I think that's the thing that people lose track of when they hear somebody's opinion, like, oh, well, this guy is wrong. It's like, no, this is for me. This is my taste for me. I don't like this. If you do, that's fine. Maybe somebody out there likes stand-up comics, any stand-up comic that I don't like, and that's fine. Now, I might silently judge you for that, but that's fine. I don't think it makes you a bad person. It's like people that go to comedy club. I was talking to somebody about this during the week. Actually, a guy that's doing air conditioning at a new place. We were talking about stand-up comedy, and like there's this comedy club local here. It's called Governors, and they announced like these random free stand-up comedy shows. They just want you to get in the club, and I really have a hard time with people that go to comedy clubs just to see stand-up comedy. Now that's a difference between going to see a headliner that you like. Like if there's somebody performing that you like, that's different, doesn't count. But you're just going to a stand-up comedy show like you would at your prom, like randomly, like just going for a night just to be entertained by random idiots. That I have a problem with, because I think the people that do that are the same type of people that laugh at like Kevin James movie trailers in theaters. If you make the unfortunate decision to see a comedy in a theater, you're going to be inundated with shitty trailers for coming movies. Same thing with any genre. If you go to see a horror movie, you're going to be inundated with shitty horror trailers. I now try to go, if I go to the movies, I time it where I go 17 minutes late so I can avoid all the trailers. I used to love trailers, but now I hate them. But whenever I see a comedy, and it's rare that I see a comedy, there's always some horrible like Kevin James type movie. I'm using him as an example. It could be Adam Sandler or any piece of shit. Who's that other guy? Kevin Hart. And there's always somebody guffawing behind you, like laughing their ass off at this horrible, horrible thing. And you turn around, you just to look at them like, who is this fucking person? Oh my God. And I think that's the same type of crowd that goes to stand-up comedy clubs just to see regular thing. No, Paul Blart is not. Chaz, I'm losing faith in you. You're really losing me on a couple of things here. I don't mind if somebody found Perry via Kill Tony. I hate. Am I in mono? I'll tell you what I did, Chase. I went into this thing. It's a weird thing. I just went down to one channel. They give you like 6 channels. Okay, if I'm in mono now, cool. I'll stay in mono. There we go. We fixed it. That's cool. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, Kill Tony is horrible. Tony Hinchcliffe is horrible. And I have a hard time with anybody that likes Tony Hinchcliffe. But if you came to Perry Caravello live via Kill Tony, I can't fault that. That's kind of cool. Hardest I ever laughed in a theater. Oh, you were kidding? Okay, good. The late hours, it's hard to read sarcasm. You know, it's been a long time since I laughed in a theater. I remember really laughing hard. I mean, it's probably like when you're a kid, laughing in the theater is easy because you're an easy laugh as a kid. I think the harder, the older you get, the harder your laughs become. At least that's the case with me. So I think of movies I saw that made me really laugh in the theater. And it probably seeing it with a crowd helps. There's two movies that made me laugh, and they're not my favorite movies by any means. But when the first Jackass movie came out, and I saw that in the theater, I remember laughing till I cried, like because I saw it opening night with like some friends, and we had some drinks and stuff, and the whole crowd, it was packed crowd, and that helps. And Borat, the first Borat, I laughed my ass off. Those two, which are not traditionally like scripted comedies, but those two movies. Which is weird. I'm not a Jackass fan, but I just remember seeing that, and the second one too. I remember seeing them in the theater, and just God, I just was dying, and I haven't seen it since. I only saw it one time in the theater. Yeah, Observe and Report. The best security movie is Armed and Dangerous with John Candy and Eugene Levy. It came out in like 1985. That's the best security movie. You can have a security guard, probably a movie marathon. There's been enough of them, but very few good ones. I think most Abbott and Costello movies qualify as well because I think they were always security guards somewhere. Oh, you can't. You came at Kill Tony fans suck. I don't think Kill Tony fans suck. Kill Tony sucks. Tony Hinchcliffe sucks. If it doesn't matter if if you're a fan, you can be a fan of bad things, but there's a lot of Kill Tony fans that turn on it. They'll listen to other things and they'll whatever. There's bigger targets in Kill Tony too, but there's a lot of shit things that people are fans of and they just don't realize it, and then they, whatever. There's Sandy says the last time you cried and had therapeutic laughing was when TomB had his 2-minute imitating Perry throwing McDonald's everywhere on the desk. That's cool. I'm glad I can give you that. I thought I was gonna. I really thought I was gonna get beat, like a real hard punch to the side of the head, but I decided to go for it. I'm glad to hear that. Oh, buddy, are you still into Kill Tony? Oh, sorry. Okay, I didn't realize. No, yeah, no, I don't think you saw. If you like Kill Tony, that's fine. Sure, I'm sure I like stuff that other people would find horribly cringe, but whatever brings you to the table is fine with me. Yeah, Buck Privates is great. I like Abbott and Costello a lot. I never got into Three Stooges. So, do you guys still like Kill Tony now? It's hard for me to imagine that people like that. Oh, you broke a plate? I'm so sorry. I owe you a plate, Mel. Sorry. A lot of things got broken in TomB week. Irreplaceable things. Well, actually, nothing's irreplaceable. But yeah, Tony's a lobster. What I hate about Tony is he thinks he's this master of ceremonies that he's just not. Like you're right, the concept is good, but he thinks he's the reason why it's good, and he's not. He's just terrible. The thing about though, I watched. I didn't see. I wasn't able to see that perspective, but I did watch the thing where I did the Perry impression. What I like about it is Perry's laughing when it first starts. Like he's smiling, like, "Oh, this is cute and funny," and then once we start throwing fillet of fishes around, that smile goes away real quick. I don't know that rotten egg in the pack, man. There's a couple of times I wanted to vomit in there. And the rotten egg, I mean, I was gagging. I'm gagging even talking about it, to be honest with you, because it brings back that sensory experience I had with it. And like when it was in the credenza, I saw it in the credenza. I knew it was in the credenza because I just knew he never found it. Because if he did, he would have called me about it. I never got a call about it, so I just knew it was on one of the bottom things. And when I did my little tour, I found it, and the smell hit me. Like when I first went in there, that first time, I think I put the video on Patreon. Like it was a different smell than I'm used to smelling in there. And when I first walked in, because the credenza's right there, the dresser, and that's where the egg was coming from. And it had been in there for over 2 months, in the heat and everything like that. And it was just gross. And then when it broke in his pack, I actually felt bad because I really didn't want it to break in the pack. I wasn't going for that. But Jesus Christ, he is impervious to certain odors. Now, if you ever hear him complain about an odor like that, because I don't think the durian does it for him anymore, because that was no problem. Everybody in there on that Sunday, all of us, we were gagging from that durian. It was disgusting, but he was oblivious to it. But I'm so glad that Surströmming didn't show up when I was there, because that's the one thing he reacts to, and if Perry reacts bad to it, then it's a thing. You know it's bad. Yeah, I mean, you're credenza. Sorry. But yeah, it was a really strong smell, and it's one of those smells where I was questioning all my life decisions. Why am I here? What am I doing? What am I getting out of this? Why am I doing this? Like really, what am I doing? Like how did we get to this point? Like what it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I should be somewhere else. It was suffocating. I wanted to click end, there's a button here that says end stream, and that's how you end the stream, and I just wanted to immediately hit the button, break the glass, sorry guys, we gotta go, bye. Call an Uber. Yeah, that's a good point, Hero. Still waiting for Tony Hinchcliffe's Billionaires podcast and part 2 of his documentary. Yeah, me too. I love Tony Hinchcliffe coverage. That's why. And I this is one of the things with Red Bar is usually with Red Bar, I learn these bad people through Red Bar, but I hated Tony Hinchcliffe before Red Bar, before it was on Red Bar's radar. And Red Bar got into it very late 2016 from that Getting Dug with High episode where he was on it, and that's what got him on. And as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, about time they start getting into Tony Hinchcliffe, because this guy fucking sucks. What happened to manager Nick? Nick's still he lives upstate. I think he just burnt out on Perry, which is understandable. But he messaged me recently, well wishing the channel and everything. So it was nice to hear from him. So I think he's he's around. But I just, you know, think some people getting a little too deep. Maybe. Yeah, it's what's weird about Red Bar is I'm always super behind. Like I'm always like four, maybe 3 to 4, possibly more episodes behind because just the way my schedule is, and having time to listen to it. Now I'm 100% caught up, which is weird, and there hasn't been a new episode in a while. So if I'm caught up, there's an issue because there's something going on. So I know Mike has this like illness that he talks about that isn't quite clear. So I hope he's okay. I don't know what the deal is there, but there used to be a thing where I think I was talking to Hero about it the other day, where when I first started listening, it was like 3 days a week, and then it went down to 2 days a week, and now it's like for the past year or so, it's one show a week, but it's like a supersized show, like 8 to 9 hours. But now it's like whenever. But I would prefer it if it was just like 2 times a week, but like 4 hours a show, rather than one supersized one. 3 weeks since the last. Is it that long? Holy shit! How current are the YouTube videos? The most current one is like April, so about 2 months behind. But I'll catch up on those. They're a lot easier now to catch up on, but it's just I got to get the move over with and all my personal shit over with before I can delve, because that just takes a lot of time to manage. And YouTube doesn't really generate any kind of income for Perry or us. It's more like it's a more of a promotional priority than a anything else. So I lean more heavily on the live streams and Patreon and even Cameo. Does Gavin still participate? No, not at all. In fact, he mentioned it recently out of nowhere on his like show that I don't know who listens to, who watches, but from the clip you could tell how out of touch with Perry he really is. He couldn't even get his address right. Fuck. Sorry, hang on a second. Texting my friend in California. Sorry. Anyway, I should probably wrap this up. Yeah, big. I'm not into big, Mike. No, I'm not moving out of New York. I wish I was, but as long as my parents are still here, I have to be local. Because both my sisters live out of state, and I got to be close to my parents because they're not getting any younger, and they require more and more maintenance. And I mean, that's the thing about New York. You pay a premium to live here. I would easily leave New York in a heartbeat. There's nothing holding me here aside from friends and and familiar things. But I'll eventually leave New York. But I'm in it for the next I don't know, for the foreseeable future at least. Why no more Simply Not podcast? I have no idea. You're asking the wrong person. But as to where I would move to, I don't know. That's a thing. I'd want to be coastal, or get away from cold weather. Still, my dad's still getting hasn't had the results yet. I think he's seeing another doctor tomorrow, so I don't have a definitive answer yet. Where did I imagine Perry Caravello's first live show being at again? I think I'm not married to it. Maybe Vegas, but like off strip Vegas somewhere. Like I think that would be fun for everybody. Not California. I'm married to not California. But I was thinking Vegas, Chicago, New York, but stronger preference to Vegas. But again, we'll see where things go. We're not we're still not thing. Yeah, maybe Florida. I don't know. I always thought moving to Florida was like giving up, but maybe. It would depend. It would depend on where I am in life. Am I married? What's going on? I don't know. Are there kids involved? This is decisions I can't make right now. Why not California? It's too goddamn expensive to live anywhere good. Property taxes are through the roof. It's worse. It's California is one of those states that punishes you for living there. Like, and I only have tunnel vision for a couple of places. Orange County or San Diego. I would never live in LA. And I think until things resolve themselves, California is in a bad place. You know what? Somebody mentions Palm Springs. No joke. I actually thought about that. There's a friend of mine who wants to move to Palm Springs. That might be where I end up, which would be kind of strange. But yeah, maybe there's a PCL event in Palm Springs. That's not a bad idea. A live event in Palm Springs. Perry can give us the Palm Springs tour. We can go to Haagen-Dazs. We can. It'd be easier to book a place in Palm Springs than it would be in Vegas, so that might be on the table. I've been to Palm Springs though, and I haven't. I mean, it's like anything else. Like living in Arizona, I've been in Arizona in like July, and the key is just staying indoors, staying in air conditioning. But I like Palm Springs too. Is apartment 103 empty? Yeah, I don't know. As funny as that idea is, I couldn't do it. Even as like a remote office. But yeah, that might be a thing. But that's the thing about that Vegas has over any place is it's a fun destination. So even if you're going to Palm Springs for a Perry event, you're only going for that. But maybe we can make a thing out of it. Who knows? If the rent was cheap enough in Perry's apartment complex, I would consider doing that just to do regular TomB weeks, but I don't know. I'm in no rush to go back there, really. I need a break. That was intense. It was an intense week for a lot of reasons. So I couldn't do it on the regular. I really couldn't. By the fall, I'll have recovered and it'll be fun again. Nah, I don't know about fun, but we can make it interesting again. But man, it was rough. Yeah, I stayed at Circus one time when I had like no money, and I went to Vegas to see some concerts, and it wasn't terrible. Circus. It wasn't. There's worse places to stay, I guess. Yeah, I wonder though how much Palm Springs of Perry's era is still there. Like, so if you did like a tour with Perry, where we like drove around with Perry, and you're like, okay, this is where I Magnons used to be. This is where this used to, that gets boring. Where it's like, this is where this used to be. This is where this used to be. Oh, there's the Haagen-Dazs, and maybe you can recreate. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We could talk about it. I still think Vegas is the way to go for the first one, but we can do other ones. Yeah, I forget that Perry said he met Rick Dalton. I gotta find it. I have all those because again, not last year, like a couple of years ago now. I just had him do movie reviews on the phone because I was recording. I just like have him leave voicemails and then I retrieve them and it'd be movie reviews. And he did a bunch. And one of the batch he did was like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he talked about having a Rick Dalton lunch bag. I mean, I don't know. I think he was confused with somebody else. But yeah, I gotta find those and post those. I don't need to find them. I have them. I just gotta post them. But with context of because they're telephone recorded, like what they are. I've never been to downtown Vegas, Mel. I was in Vegas last year for CES. That had been the first time I'd been to Vegas in a while, and I had this thing where me and a friend were gonna go down to downtown Vegas after CES, but I was so tired from like a full day at like CES that I just never made it. Yeah, so I'd like to go downtown. I've never been downtown. I've only been on the Strip, and I've been off Strip, but like not to downtown. I'd like to do that. Yeah, Vegas downtown. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. But anyway, I'm out of shape and I'm out of time, so I should go. I got another long day tomorrow. This is brutal. This is a brutal week, so I gotta call it here. 2 o'clock's not too bad. 2 a.m. East Coast time. I can live with that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that at Fremont Street. I'd like to do that. I just never did. Next time I go to Vegas, there's a slight chance I might go to Vegas in September, possibly, maybe, for some concerts with some friends. But it's tough. It's like it's Caesars, and I don't know. I'll see. I'm mulling it over. Yeah, that's it, Matt Ryan. Yeah, so yeah, that's right. It was at a lull period, and I was always finding these like little fundraising things to do because it was one of those times where like Perry had some expense. I was like, I can't pay out of pocket for this. I have to figure out something to put out. So I did these like batch of like phone calls. One of them was like a Thanksgiving message, and then like some, yeah, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Ford Ferrari, and there was a couple that I didn't that I had in the can that I just never got around to. So I'll just put all those together. I don't know if I should put them all in one batch or separately, but it's weird for people that don't know what they are. Like, I'll just have to write in the description like these are phone call recordings or whatever. But yeah, you're right, man. I forgot about that. I couldn't remember if it was like on a podcast or something. Yeah, it was like a fundraising thing. But all right, good night, guys. I'll see you on Friday. Thanks for hanging out. I always feel have some shitty catchphrase like "Thanks for hanging out after hours." Thanks for staying after hours. We'll see you on Friday. Good night, guys.